Alright, and we are back. Um, so we're going to be talking about legendary items here. I didn't I didn't really find in my building of my allies that there was a lot of uh, variety. It kind of seems like, I mean, it's kind of spelled out for you. There might be a couple traceries that you might be humming and hawing about, but uh, overall I think it's pretty straightforward. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go down the list of like what I have, um, and how I kind of prioritize leveling up the LI slots. Not that that's a huge deal, but then we'll take a look at some of the um, traceries here that you could get, um, and we'll take a look at some of the ones that you shouldn't get. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So for the first one, and it doesn't really matter what if you have certain traceries on your weapon versus your instrument, like it's not a big deal. But I'm going to start with the weapon here. So both my heraldic traceries I have on my allies are the owl, because they have the most vitality. They have a bunch of that outgoing healing, which is great for healers. But yeah, I think vitality is probably going to serve you the best. Give yourself more buffer. Moving downwards, we've got single target healing crit. That is pretty self-explanatory. You have soliloquy of spirit is single target. Raise the spirit is single target. Bolster courage is single target. Improved court of salvation is single target. It also has a fellowship aspect to it, but that's not the part of it that's buffed. The single target part of it is. The Coda of Resonance, which is really important, is single target. So I got the single target crit there. Skill induction speed, the next one down here, is really useful. You get your inductions off quicker, and that's good in a pinch, right? When you have to be fast, it's good because you are. Some people have traded this out for the other single target tracery, the single target damage, just straight up, or not damage, sorry, single target healing, just straight up healing. I think it's like 20%. I feel like skill induction makes me feel more comfortable on it, like on the healing class, but hey, I might switch that out. So that's a maybe right there. Healing skills induction and critical chance. So we're now into the word of power traceries, I believe, like the class legacies. Healing skills induction and critical chance. Those are really nice chunks here. Critical chance, always take critical chance. Same thing goes for your traits. Same thing goes for your instrument. Having critical chance or critical magnitude, really good for healing. Rally cooldown, you want that. That is your res. You want that to have as little cooldown as possible. Major ballad healing. Again, major ballad, don't depend on major ballad healing too much. It's only got an 8-meter radius. It's not a bad heal, and it buffs your outgoing healing. It's a good skill, but don't overuse it. Regardless, in the situations that you do need to use it or you are using it, having the tracery bumps it quite a lot. Same for the next three too. Bolster courage healing, inspire fellows healing, and raise the spirit healing. Those are all just to buff up your best heals. However, raise the spirit healing is really taken for the 5% chord of salvation critical chance. That's really important right there. It's kind of like having that trait in red line here for giving your piercing cry a critical chance plus 30%. It's kind of like that, right? It just that's really good. And this skill, like I said in the previous video, like it when you see it go off, you see a bunch of numbers above your head. So having an additional critical chance for that is good. And then I'm going to tie these two together here. So the very last two slots here, I have Ascendant Light, 4 of them, critical rating. That's because the let me just grab it here. Set bonus for these guys is, if if you see there, 15% light type damage. That's not really usable for healing Minstrel, but the 93k of outgoing healing, when you have 4 of them, it really, really is. Now, you can go for the Ascendant Light for those, like I have, to get that set bonus, or you can also just go with the, I think it's just the light tracery. Let me see here. The one with just critical, like it's a set of 4 for critical rating. Yeah, so you can go for the Ascendant Lightning instead. So you also get critical rating on this one, but for the 4 set you get additional critical rating. Now, the reason why I went actually for the Ascendant Light and not the Lightning was because it's either you get the bonus of the critical on the 4 set, or you get the bonus of the outgoing healing on the 4 set. Now the outgoing healing is 93k. That's really good. That's like, if you take a look at some of my pieces of gear here, like from the Houses of Rest instance, the new 6-man, it only has 85k. So I kind of value the 4 set bonus here a little bit more than I value the 4 set bonus from the Lightning set. So just a little FYI. Let me get that tooltip back up here. Alright, now for my book. Like I said, for Heraldry of the Owl, because of the bit. Here for the next 3, I have Area Effect Healing, Area Effect Healing Criticals, and Healing Over Time Criticals. So the Area Effect Healing and Criticals, those are going to be affecting my Inspire Fellows. They're going to be affecting my Triumphant Spirit and my Fellowship's Heart. I believe, and I need further testing on this, but I believe that it also affects the Fellowship, the small Fellowship heal on Bolster Courage. I think it affects the Fellowship heal over time from Raise the Spirit. What's the other one? Oh yeah, Court of Salvation. I think it affects that. Oh, and one I forgot, of course, it affects Major Ballad. So yeah, those 2 I think are pretty good to have. It's been said that Runekeeper is a little bit more like single target, and Mini is a little bit more AoE, or kind of a mix between single target and AoE, and Bjorning is kind of all AoE healing. I kind of agree with that. I think though that the AoE part of the Minstrel's healing line kind of needs a boost. So that is partly the reason why you see on here that I have the skill induction rather than the single target healing. Again, I might switch that out because it might feel more comfortable to have bigger heals, but that'll be a decision to make at some point later. Okay, so yeah, that's the healing ones. I hope the healing over time critical is self-explanatory. I mean, basically your best healing over time. You don't have many. You have Raise the Spirit and you have Soliloquy of Spirit. You also have Fellowship's Heart, but this one, honestly, like I don't use this very often. You typically can out heal almost anything with these first 6 skills here, and Coda. I find myself using this if I know a lot of damage is coming and I just need extra heals. That's when I use this. So anyway, the third tracery here, the healing over time, yes, that still affects Fellowship's Heart though. Soliloquy of Spirit healing. Again, not much said there, just need to buff that up. Anthem duration, this is really nice. The one Anthem you're going to be refreshing and making sure that you refresh is Anthem of the Third Age, for yourself. For your party, like, of course, you want to keep all of them up. For your party, you want to keep Anthem of Composure and Anthem of War up. But it's nice not to have to hit these 2 all the time, or at least at the same frequency as you're hitting Anthem of Third Age. Without this tracery, the 60 seconds Anthem duration, you're sitting at about, I think it's just a minute, actually, if you don't have extended anthems traded at all, which you shouldn't. So that's, I don't know, that's pretty short. That means once every minute you have to spend, and I'm not lying, almost 10 seconds using these 3 skills. Okay, maybe 10 seconds is an exaggeration. 8 seconds, I'm sure of it. These have long animations. They interrupt your healing, so you don't want to be hitting those. You want to be hitting them as little as possible. Anthem of Composure, Resistance, and Tactical Rating. This is flat percent buff to these two. In the previous video, I talked about the resistance and how it's kind of moot, but that the tactical mitigation buff is awesome to have. So that, in addition to, does Anthem of Composure still apply percent? I guess not. No, just tactical mitigation. Regardless, really, really good to buff that up, because that gives it to your whole raid. Don't forget that anthems are raid wide. Next one, Triumphant Spirit cooldown, critical magnitude. Here we go, Triumphant Spirit. Like I said in the last video, one of your best AoEs, one of your oh shit skills, one of your one of the skills actually that I pair quite frequently with Call to Irith, for that 100% critical chance. That thing, if you need to heal like 400, 500k, or 600k health on everyone in the group, that's your skill. You buff up with your Cry of the Chorus, you hit your Anthem. Actually, don't even need Anthem. Hit your Cry of the Chorus for that healing buff, you hit your Call of Irith, and then hit that Triumphant Spirit, and everybody's back to full. Where is it? Oh yeah, and 100 and, I mean, minus 2 minutes cooldown. Like, that's just, yeah, you need that. Next one, Call to Irith cooldown. We're just talking about it. Yeah, the more you can use this one, the more you're gonna crit those big heals. So get that one. Also, it adds some critical magnitude. You see that 53%. So it added 33%. It was just 20% as its original amount. So that's pretty good. And last but not least, Cry of the Chorus cooldown. So I have the, here's the thing. We talked about this skill last time. This goes off quite frequently. If I hit my Cry of the Chorus, and let me hit my calls actually. I'm just gonna buff up too. Not for any reason. Okay, so I've used all my calls. If I just start using some healing skills here, 1, 2, 3. There we go, they already reset. 3 skills, that was 3 times. Now, obviously, I was lucky. That's a 10% chance to reset them that I have right now. But you'll find that, I mean, you just spam heal skills all day long. That's all you do. So eventually you're going to trigger it before the 30 seconds is up. So this is a tracery that I've thought about replacing. With what? I don't know. Let's take a look. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the page that is the incomparable 131s. The reason I'm doing that is because SSG has made gold very hard to get right now. So I'm not even going to tempt people or be cruel, dangle a carrot, whatever. Okay, so ones that you should not get. Let me just scroll for the healing ones here. Kind of random, but Still as Death cooldown, you don't need that. This skill right here, Still as Death. Still as Death, you don't ever pop this. You only pop this in Landscape or the Moors. Like, you don't need that. Anthem of a War damage buffs. If you can fit this on there somewhere, like I was saying, if, where was it? On the book? Yeah, that Cry of the Chorus. If I switch that out, I might switch that out for Anthem of War damage. Just prioritizing the group's damage just a little bit more. So that's a maybe there, depending on how you build it. Target resist chance, doesn't matter. You don't need that. Same with this. Target resist chance of ballots, you don't need that. The only time you would want that, and it's even debatable in red line if you're building red allies. I don't know. I wouldn't go for it. You don't really get resisted anyway. Like, if you're going damage, you've got enough finesse that you're not going to get resisted. So it's kind of a stupid tracery. Um, Hammer hand skills, bubble magnitude. You could get that. I did have it on my allies. I took it off in favor of something else. Because I don't know. I found as my stats got better with critical rating and outgoing healing, I found that I wasn't pressured to use bubbles as much. I just didn't need to. So yeah. And over to this side, I mean, we have all those, and you don't need echoes of battle anything. So yeah, that's those traceries. Now I'm just gonna pop over to the what is it? Where to craft, where to power, and I'm gonna pull up the healing, healing over time, single target healing. Okay, yeah, so that is a 20%. That is a 20% bonus there. Let me pull up my ally. So instead of going for the skill induction speed, I possibly could go for the single target healing. I'd have to see how that is. Not quite sure. But I'll do some tests and find out. Like, I don't think I'm going to be healing faster than an extra 20% heals, so I might want to go for that. Now I thought I'd quickly talk about gear. I'm not going to label specific pieces. I am going to sort of narrow down the field of where to get stuff, but really you should have main points at which you're aiming for your stats. For healing on Minstrel, the important stats are first off crit, second outgoing healing, third you want to get your mitigations up. These are kind of low, but with my Anthem of Composure I'm at cap. I'm actually over cap, so I'm over cap even being for rating I'm under cap, but for percent I'm over just because of my skill line. Yeah, so the only things that aren't capped right now for me are the crit rating. And I know I said that was first, but I don't know, for whatever reason, the gear that I got, it just kind of happened that other stats got boosted first. So you got to get this to 1.2 mil, somewhere around there, for your total of 30% crit chance. To get to your stat caps, I mainly have the 6-man and the 3-man instance gear on right now. So for a lot of this gear, I've run T3 or higher. I think T3 or T2, you have a chance of purple drops, but I'm pretty sure that T3, it's a way better bet. So we have the 6-man stuff. All the dwarf load stuff is the 6-man. So that and the earrings. I've gone for basically critical rating and outgoing healing on all my gear until I kind of reached some breakpoints. And then I went to, where is it? I should have a little bit of tactical mitigation. Yeah, okay. Oh, no, that was mastery. Here we go. The gloves have a bit of tactical mitigation on them. I haven't looked at my gear in a while, actually. My shield has a little bit of tactical mitigation. So yeah, I got some work to do there. Can probably boost some of that stuff, but basically just the 3-mans, the 6-mans, and then the raid will get you some nice gear so that you can hit some breakpoints. It really, like, there's a lot of different ways you can build. You can have the shoulders from the 6-man, although I truly think that the Puglack shoulders are the best. You can have rings and bracers from the raid. You can have shoes from Durstrock or even Puglack. So like you can do things a lot of different ways. As for essences, so like you get your gear first. As for essences, then you start building up and filling in the gaps. So you'll notice I have a lot of critical rating essences, and that's because as a will class, I really don't get a lot of crit. I got, I don't know why I have finesse. I should take that off. I don't need finesse. Somebody please tell me if I do need finesse, because I'm gonna feel real stupid. Oh, there's some physical mit there, but yeah, most of my essences, as you can see, are critical rating. Physical mit there. Okay, so I did that because I just needed more crit rating as a will class. From my LIs, if you notice the buffs here, outgoing healing, crit, outgoing healing, outgoing healing, outgoing healing, outgoing healing. Like a lot of these extra stats, I get a lot of outgoing healing from these. I do get a lot of crit from these actually. Wasn't enough crit, but a lot of my stats are actually helped out by my allies, but you got to fill it all out with the essences. I hope that made sense. I don't know if there's anything else I should talk about. I think the only thing was the instrument for minstrels. The resolve. What you can get whatever instrument you want. I chose the harp because it's pretty non-intrusive. But you want the one with the extra healing, the extra crit healing magnitude. The power cost isn't a big deal, but the morale is too, right? So the best ones you can have crafted for you, get those, but get the resolve one for healing. And that's about it, I think. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.